Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 42. It's not just the meaning of life, it's our episode of Around the Kingdom, a Disney Magic Kingdoms podcast by a guy who just keeps podcasting. Coming to you for the edge of the reef, I am your host, Steve Squirrel, and back with me again is our favorite little clownfish, Allison Villa.
Hello!
Thank you to each and every one of you for joining us this week as we explore the wonderful world of Disney Magic Kingdoms. Before we get started, I want to send a big thank you to our Patreons, Carrie Schumann, Kathy Clausen, Honeybee, Kira, Tom Higgins, Patricia Baisden, and Brianne Duke. If you don't know what Patreon is, it's a site where you can pledge a few bucks each month to help support the show. So if you're able to and want to help support the show, please check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/AroundTheKingdom. For August, we've set a goal for 2 new Patreons, and if we reach that goal, we will produce a bonus show. Maybe we'll do a call-in show for the Patreons, where they can call in and ask questions, or we could just chat about the game. So let's try to hit that goal. You can make that happen, so please help and go to patreon.com/AroundTheKingdom. There are other ways you can be involved more with the show also. You can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. We have a very active Facebook group, and it's a great way to stay in touch with me and the community of the show. We also have a Discord channel where you can chat with me and other members of the community, so come join us. The links to everything will be in the show notes and also on the show's main Facebook page. The kingdom is always changing, so for reference, this show is being recorded Wednesday, August 7th at around 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. All right, that's it. Formalities out of the way! Allison, how has been your week in the kingdom?
Kingdom has been really good, but I did slow down a little bit. I was on vacation, so I feel like I did quite a bit for being on vacation, but a lot of the things I did were longer, so that I didn't have to check in quite as much. So I leveled a lot of my characters to 10. I leveled up Jack Sparrow, Cena, Snow White, Bullseye, and Randall. So they all went to 10 this week. And before that, I did a couple of, I think 8 to 9s, maybe a couple smaller, lower levels as well.
Sure.
I am almost done collecting for Louis, the last duck there from DuckTales, and then I'm about halfway done with welcoming Peter Pan. So he seems to be going pretty steadily for me. I had low expectations. I figured it was going to take a long time, so I'm just happy to be where I am with him right now.
Yeah, you just have to kind of go with the fact that you're just going to truck along, and it's going to happen when it's going to happen.
Yeah, other things kind of have my attention, like enchanting some buildings and leveling up other characters and things like that. So it's nice to be working on him consistently in the background, I feel like.
Sure.
So I enchanted Minnie's house to 2. I enchanted Daisy's diner to 1. Yeah. Oh, I finally did buy Donald Duck's Halloween costume because it was annoying me. Every time I leveled him up, I would have to collect so many more of his little hats, more than I thought, because I kept forgetting about that costume. So that was annoying me, so I bought it from the costume shop finally. And then I did get California Screamin' Zone for level 2, but I think we'll talk about that later on in the show.
Yes.
Yeah. So my lifetime visitors, I am now at 138,323.
Yay!
So I'm under the 140,000 mark. So.
Yeah, you now you got to break into the top 125,000. That's your next milestone.
I'm on the way.
Awesome. Sounds good.
Yeah, that's been my week. How about yours, Steve?
My week was good. I mean, I was in the kingdom. I will say I slowed down a lot this week. I started realizing it after a couple of days that it was happening. I put just about everyone who didn't collect tokens or wishes away, and I put them home because I was just feeling a little burnt out. We've had so many events, tower challenges, and we had battle viruses, which took a lot out of me. So I felt like we had an event coming. I was excited for it, so I just needed to kind of pull back a little bit and kind of just take a little bit of time as off and just kind of do, what I needed to do. And it's crazy when you send everyone home that isn't doing stuff, how your time in the game changes. Like I could jump in and I can play for 2 minutes and be done, and maybe 3 minutes as opposed to like 15 minutes in a shot, especially at night and in the mornings, collecting everything and going through 100 something characters, even with like 40 or 50 homes, still felt like really long. So I needed to take a step back. I also wasn't really on the forums and social media as much, just kind of for the same reason. Needed to gather my thoughts, get myself together, and get ready for the event. So I do apologize for the lack of content that I was putting out this week and whatnot, but I should be getting back into the swing of things real soon as the event begins. So that being said,
can I ask you a question about how you when you use home? Is there a reason why you use home versus sending your characters out on like a 24-hour or 12-hour task?
Yes, because I have to actually click them and click the button to send them out on a 24-hour task.
Okay, yeah. So it's just they go in one time in perpetuity. Like
I put them in and I don't have to worry about them. It's just when you think about all the characters, even 30 characters, right? If you have 30 characters that you send on a 24-hour task, right? Mm-hmm. Then that's 30 clicks that you have to do and 30 more times that you have to click on their icon and send them out to do that. So if you just add the time that it takes to collect and the time it takes to send it back out, that's like maybe 2-3 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's just strictly a matter of time.
Yeah.
I know. Yes, I know that I'm making less magic than I would. I don't think it's a whole lot different though.
No.
On a 24-hour task.
Because that's kind of my concern. I mean, of course, I'm in a really exciting storyline, so I was just curious because I've been very tempted to throw characters in home, but I'm like, maybe I should put them out for 24 hours instead. So I just wanted to get your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I don't know the exact numbers. Maybe someone in the chat can tell us. Because you get 8 magic an hour. I'm doing some math here, which please don't hold me to that. But you get 8 magic an hour. So and then you have 24 hours. So for each character, you get 192 magic a day. So I don't know what you get from sending a character on a 24-hour mission, but if it's only like 50 magic difference, like for me, it's just not worth it. The whole point of sending a character home is saving time. So when you have 150 characters at home, that's a significant difference amount of time that you're playing.
It looks like 24 hours would be
375. So it's almost not quite double, but again, it's extra clicks. And for me, I'd rather just send them home. But I can see why sending the 24 hours actually would be beneficial. But then again, it's like, who has 24-hour tasks?
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot of them. Most of the time, the people I'm sending home have maybe 8, 6-hour tasks solo, 8-hour tasks maybe.
Okay.
So, but anyway, moving on. So for my main storyline this week, I did have enough to collect. I finally collected enough to welcome Louis, but I am holding off as I don't want token conflicts heading into the event. For the building upgrades, none this week. With the announcement of the on the live stream, and them mentioning that enchantments could happen directly not only to the new attractions that were coming out, which we'll talk about, but to the Finding Nemo attractions immediately, I decided I was going to take a step back, save all my scrolls, so that if I need to do some quick enchanting for the event, I can do so. So if you are listening and you're thinking about spending some of your your scrolls to enchant, I'd hold off and wait. Because those Nemo enchantments might make a big difference having those enchanted as far as getting drops. Or EC even, who knows. For leveling, I had, at the end of last week, up until I'd say Thursday or Friday, I was just pumping out characters, doing as many as I could in every different storyline, so that I was just having all my characters out and collecting, which is one of the reasons I was probably burning out. I was just, so much. So on Friday, I stopped and I only started sending characters out for 24 hours to get to 10, so that I would gradually have less and less people collecting, so that I wouldn't have conflicts going into the event. That being said, I was able to completely max out my Frozen collection.
Yay!
I decided to target Frozen because they were all at 9. Well, a couple of them were at 10, but everyone was at 9, and we know that there's going to be a Frozen Tower Challenge in November. I mean, it's inevitable. So, the new movie's coming out then. So that being said, I just feel like I'm really well positioned now, and I can kind of, I have that in the bag and I can focus elsewhere. But I really wanted to kind of get that done and not be panicking in November. So I think the only people I'm still collecting for are Raja, Cricky, and Charlotte, and they're just about almost done collecting for them as well. Have you? And you know what else I've been collecting a lot of, Allison?
Common tokens?
Common tokens. I don't know. Just when you think you've got enough common tokens, there comes some more. Yes, with all these attractions that are now being enchantable, thousands and thousands of common tokens to be collected, and now we have some more.
Ones you even thought you might be done with for a long time.
Yes, my right, and even my Toy Story ones, I finished them right before the new patch came out.
Yeah.
And then more Toy Story attractions became available, so I started collecting them again. But yes,
I was surprised to see Wally common tokens. I was like, I haven't seen them in a long time.
Wally common tokens, Aurora's spinning wheel, all sorts of good stuff. Pirate flags. So yeah, so that's what I've been doing this week. I'm just ramping up and ready to get going. Tomorrow's the event. It begins tomorrow at rope drop. So we are about 13 and a half hours away. So yeah. All right, lifetime visitors board 78,310. Woo! Broke into the top 80,000. So a top 75,000. Here we come.
Coming up.
Yes. All right. Well, with all that, let's move on into the newcomer tip of the week. Allison, what do we got?
Steven, this one is for you.
For me?
Yes. Keep your leveling book free at the start of the event. Don't send someone out on a 24-hour level, okay? You need this tip more than anybody. It's very expensive gem-wise if your book is clogged up. So be aware of collection times so that you can keep your new characters free during the event. Usually the first character and the second character, you can welcome them typically within the first couple of days of the event. So you want to be mindful of whatever character you can safely level is going to allow your character book to be free when you are ready to welcome them. For everybody else, also continue to check the 18K Facebook group regarding token conflicts. We do post them as soon as we can. We love to be able to safely level in this group. So if there's any time where you notice that there's a token conflict that we don't post, make sure that you comment on the post and we will get it edited.
Yes, absolutely. So yes, totally leave your character book open. I actually just finished a 24-hour right before the show, and I did not send anyone else out. I was thinking, who am I going to send out? And then I remembered. So don't be like me and have to spend 60 gems to get your character book open.
It needs a rest.
But yes, also, we always on the Around the Kingdom Facebook page in our group, we post the token conflicts as soon as we possibly can. Usually Allison's on point with that, so that we can let you know who not to level. And it's good. One of the other tips that Allison gave me a few events ago, which I use all the time now, is when you're going to level someone who doesn't have a conflict, level people that have easy tokens to collect, right? You usually have about 5 days in between parts of the chapter, maybe 5 to 7 days. So don't level like Cricky or Christopher Robin, where you have to collect, 40 epic drums, right? Level characters that have common, uncommon tokens that are easy to collect for, so that you can just get them very quickly. You're not really worrying, and you can have them wrapped up, because that character that might not have a token conflict in Chapter 1 might have one in Chapter 2.
Yeah.
So you want to head into every chapter with as few conflicts as possible.
Usually that's going to be your first or second character in whatever character set that they're in. So one of the ones that was really easy, I think, when we were first talking about that tip was
Ralph.
Wreck-It Ralph. He is so fast to collect for because all of his tokens are either common, I think, or uncommon.
They're all common.
Yeah. So you collect for him very quickly because, you're basically guaranteed almost every single time that you're going to collect.
Yep. Maybe something that you can do. That's a good idea, Allison. Maybe what we can do is we can write up like good characters to level with.
Quick levelers.
It's quick levelers, and make a post for quick levelers so that people can easily access that and see, okay, Ralph is a quick leveler. I'm pretty sure Shank, she's all uncommon. So her, and then just kind of like pinpoint 1 or 2 people from every set. So let's crowdsource it, make it happen, guys. I think that would be very valuable.
Yeah, I think so too.
To the community. So what I want to provide is my tip to everybody, okay, which is Teal. Teal Avion is one of the best contributors to all of the Disney Magic Kingdoms groups. When she pops up, you want to listen because she has something to say. Teal has been, since I've been playing the game for over a year, infamous for making a post the day before an event with she calls it the speculation post, for who to send out on tasks and as preparation for the event. Yes. So what she does is there's a list of characters that are typically sent out, and which quests or activities to send them on. So send Goofy on, the handyman activity, or, whatever activities are on there. And what you do is at night before you go to bed, set everyone up, send them on these quests, and then don't play your game in the morning. Mm-hmm. I know it sounds crazy, but don't play in the morning. Maybe, do your Merlin collect, when you wake up, and then just don't touch your quests, because as soon as the event begins, those characters would start collecting event currency instead of magic. Mm-hmm. And you can get a huge head start on event currency by following this guide. I typically, from what I remember, get maybe anywhere between 200 to 400 event currency, usually on the higher end, right at the beginning of the event, and that makes a huge difference. And you'll see it. So follow this guide. We have it posted in our. She posted it in our Facebook group. I have it pinned to the top of the announcements. It is the most important thing on our group right now. So make sure you check that out. Super important.
Another thing I wanted to note is she does say on there, if you typically buy the parade float that is specific to do not send out your parade. Make sure your parade is ready to be sent out. So that means, like right now, if you've just collected for your parade, you'd like to time it to where you collect for your parade tonight, and then so that tomorrow morning it is ready to go. That way you buy the float right away, and then you can immediately send your parade out to give you like the very best shot to get something possibly drop right away in that first parade.
Yeah, totally. Awesome. Cool. Well, those are a lot of tips, a lot of posts. I hope that they help you out. We're going into this event. We're finding Nemo. We're finding Dory. We're finding Hank. We're finding everybody. So let's find together. Let's find a lot of EC at the beginning of the event. Thanks to Teal.
Good.
Okay. All right. there's our newcomer tip of the week. Awesome stuff. Thank you, Allison. Let's move on into show news. As I mentioned last week, we did reach our July goal for new Patreons, and we are super happy about that. And what Patreons do is they help us to do more things for the community and more things for the show. And one of the things we like to do is give away stuff. So do you want premium content for the event? Do you want to get one of the bundles that's coming out? Well, there's one way to do it, and it's with a $10 gift card to the platform of your choice, whether it's Windows, iOS, or Android. You can win a $10 gift card because we are having a contest that is beginning now. Allison,
Yay.
Tell us all about this contest.
So we thought it would be super fun to do an art-based contest. So we have a blank picture of like the stained glass that DMK puts out behind. They do. So ours is blank, and it's up to you to fill it in. So go ahead and you can either print it out. You can do it right on your computer if you want to. Go ahead and color it, make it your own. Dream up any maybe character set that you wish were added to the game, or a classic storyline that you think definitely should be in there by now. Looking at you, Pinocchio. And go ahead and theme your stained glass so that it would be as if DMK put it behind your character set in the game. Then what you're going to do is you're going to post it in the comments section of that post that we have. I believe it's pinned to the top of the page at this point. So you're going to put that in there, and then the community gets to vote to see whose design they like the best. So go ahead and get all of your either crayons or markers or colored pencils, or use your computer software and make it awesome. We're so excited to see all of your designs. It's going to be a really fun cut.
Have your kids do it.
Yeah.
If you don't want to do it and you're like, this stinks, have your kids do it. Have your neighbor's kid do it if you don't have a kid. I know that I'm going to print it out tonight or tomorrow morning, and I'm going to give it to Little Squirrel, and I'm going to have her submit one. I mean, obviously she won't win because I'm not going to win my own gift card, but I will have her submit one just for awesomeness. So, submit it. What harm is there in submitting it? Nothing. You're going to have some fun. You're going to be creative, and hopefully you can win a $10 gift card, and you can get a bundle. You can buy a bundle and get some awesome content in the game. So for all the rules and details, go ahead and check out our Facebook page. Cool. Awesome. All right, let's move on into the game news. All right, so before we get into all the stuff you want to hear about, let's just talk about some things real quick. For me, the most important thing that we're going to talk about outside the event is the Bambi float is now available in the shop for 50 gems. This float will never, ever drop for me out of a gold chest. It never wanted to. For a year of me trying, a year of my daughter trying, we never got it. As soon as I get 50 gems to spare, I'm going to buy it in the shop. So if you need the Bambi float and you have 50 gems, go ahead and grab it. Do you have the Bambi float? Yeah, you got one. You opened it in a chest, right, Allison?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, of course you did.
It was in the gold chest, I think, right?
Yeah, it was in the gold chest.
Yeah. I got it actually like right before I entered the Bambi storyline. So it was very good timing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's you though. That's your luck. Allison is like King Midas, Queen Midas for the thing. Okay, so we did get the calendar leak for the month of August, thanks to the famous Chinese hackers. This week was a really great week for rewards. We had scrolls every day. We had, 2 of all the different types of chests. Tomorrow you'll get 2 of the what are those? The attraction chests.
Yeah. Is it the enhancement?
Yeah. Yep. Today we had 2 of the concession stand chests. The day before that, 2 decorations. So good stuff. All the rewards are really good. I mean, except for the 14th, there's only one day every week that has a bronze chest, and everything else is pretty good stuff. So definitely, great job with DMK for putting stuff. I mean, even Five Happiness at this point is really good stuff.
I was just thinking that. I was like, wow, that's, we get really happy when we see happy faces.
Yeah,
now.
we do. It used to be nothing, but anyway, so that's it. So thank you to Xiaomi, Xiaomi, I guess. I don't know, whoever it is for getting this stuff for us. All right, let's move into what everyone wants to talk about. Finding Nemo. Yes. There was a live stream on Friday. Marc Andre was back at it with Julia, who had an awesome new haircut, by the way.
Yes, she looked very chic.
Yes, but unfortunately, Julia did not spill the beans on anything that she wasn't supposed to, so it was a much more disappointing. I kept waiting for her to say something that she wasn't supposed to, and for Marc Andre to kind of be like, So you should really make that. They should make that part of the stream every week. Where Julia announces something
like
that she shouldn't.
Special
Yeah. But anyway, what we found out it was what we already knew, which is Finding Nemo is the event that is going to be beginning tomorrow, August 8th at Rope Drop. The patch came out yesterday on the 6th, and people were able to update. So here's what we know. And Allison, stop me as we go along, and we'll talk about it. So we were able to see and confirm after the patch that Moana are the helpers for this event. So Moana chests will be available during the entire event, and this is the first time since the Moana event that they have appeared, as chests. So, did you get everyone for Moana? Did you complete that?
I did. Yep, I did. So, one of the things that I was doing over the couple of days, I feel like somebody was speculating that Moana would be used, so I made sure that all of their tokens did not conflict, just especially that, because I didn't want any conflicts there. So they're ready to go.
Yeah, I was when I quickly found it, I leveled up Cena. But
I leveled.
But there's a big thing. You don't want to level up, have these characters have tokens being collected, because you will have conflicts. I guarantee it. So do not level Moana characters for this whole event. Moana is off limits. Usually characters are pretty safe to go at around level 5, level 6, as far as what quests they need to do. So don't freak out, but you really don't want to cause conflicts. So don't level them. That's my advice.
Yep.
All right. So the play arena or the event arena is water based for the first time, and again for the first time, all characters in an event are water based characters. So there are no land dwellers. So Little Mermaid is going to get some company out there under the sea. So I think that's really cool to have more sea dwellers.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
I'm interested to know if Hank has some land activity, because that would be very cool.
Yeah, because he can go on land. He can. Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, primarily, I just think he's such a cool character in the movie. So
yeah.
Wouldn't it be funny to see him in his little coffee pot, like hopping around? I just think that would be funny.
I think it would be funny to see Nemo in like a plastic bag,
Oh yeah.
Roll it around. But all right. There is a new float, of course, which probably will be available right at the beginning of the event. It usually costs 50 gems and is usually part of a bundle. But the float it looks like Crush because it's a big turtle. There's a starfish on him and some stuff, so it looks cool.
Yeah, it does.
So yeah. Then they showed a decoration. I think there is only one decoration in this whole event. I didn't see anything else. So there's the Finding Nemo Gold Trophy, which obviously will be a leaderboard reward,
Mhm.
which is Crush on his back, kind of just like hanging out. Um, but yeah, I didn't see any other decorations. I don't believe that they talked about any. Did you?
I I don't think so either.
Yeah.
None that I saw specifically. Mention it in the. I'm gonna look at the notes real quick and see. But nope, it listed only as the
Yeah.
Finding Nemo culture.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
yeah,
Well, so less stuff you have to worry about from getting from chests, right?
yep, yep.
Um, all right. So concessions. Only 2 new concessions during this event, and they are for the Dory and Nemo wishables. Um, so these wishables don't look nearly as creepy as the wishables that came out the last time, which were the Mickey and Minnie, and I think there was one other wishable, but
The
those
ice
were,
cream, that one was.
yeah, those other ones were a little creepy looking. But the Dory and Nemo ones look cute.
Yeah,
Um,
they do.
Supposedly, I'm not really even sure what wishables are. Basically, I think they're just stuffed animals.
Yeah.
So those are 2 new concessions. So now we have some new attractions.
Mhm.
And all of these attractions, this is very important, all of these attractions will be enchantable from day one. So if you get one of these new attractions, you can enchant it, and there might be really good stuff. I would wait and not just run and enchant things right away. I would kind of keep my eye on the board, and the groups and stuff, and see what each attraction will get you. Yeah, so they're all enchantable. So let's talk about them.
Yeah.
Allison, you want to talk about them?
Sure. The first one is the Seas with Nemo and Friends, and is ride attraction, right? The Clam Mobile.
Yes.
So that one's really cute. It's super colorful.
Yeah.
And that one is based off of a real show at Walt Disney World and Animal Kingdom. So yeah, that one's good. I like that. The second is Crush's Coaster. I believe this is also a ride, right? Like
Yes.
a real life
I believe they said it was in Disney World Paris. Yes.
Paris. Yeah. And then there's a couple of mine seagulls on
Mine.
there. Yes.
Mine.
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 I love that they've done them on more than one, because they also show up on the Finding Nemo submarine voyage
Yes.
attraction as well. So really cute touch that they, put them on more than one. It's kind of a little wink to the movies, and it's just a funny part. So I like that they added it more. So yeah.
Yeah. What Austin mentioned is that they did show Hank having a mission on the submarine attraction. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, I like the attractions. I think they're all very colorful. I think that they're nice. I think Crush's Coaster looks cool. I think the Finding Nemo submarine voyage, I mean, it kind of reminds me of the Yellow Submarine. So as a Beals fan, I kind of like it. But yeah, they're all cool. I love that they have the mine seagulls in there. If they would have left them out of the event, I probably would have cried, because they're such an awesome part of it. Everyone loves the mine seagulls.
Yeah, they're very cute.
But yeah, so we don't know what the attractions enchantments will be, but I can tell you that most likely it will be important to try to get them at least to probably level 1. I don't know how we're going to get Finding Nemo relics. So we'll have to see.
Do you think those would be in the resource that would?
In the resource chests?
Yeah.
Oh, for tomorrow?
Sure. Well, no, not tomorrow. For you know how every event they give you like the special radiant chests, I guess is what I mean.
Yeah. Like radiant chest, magic chest. Yeah. I'm sure there'll be stuff like that in there. That'd be my guess.
Are the event banners the same, like common, uncommon, that they are in the chest, or that they are in like our original enchantable buildings, or are they event specific?
No, I would say that they're most likely the same, except that the relics will be different.
Okay.
That's my guess, but again,
Yeah.
no one knows.
I might have to go back. I might have to go back and watch the live stream just to
You
see
know,
if they.
who knows? They might do something totally different. Like it might just be
Yeah.
EC to level them up during the
Oh yeah,
event,
that would be good.
and then it switches. I mean, think about the tower challenge and how the common token, or the token switches on
Yeah.
the main character to common token. So maybe they do
Yeah.
something where it's EC during the event, like maybe 5,000 EC or something to level an attraction, and then after the event it goes back to whatever the standard would be.
It's really, I think, going to put an interesting twist on this event. These last two updates have really changed the game significantly, and so if they decide to bring those elements, which it looks like they are, into events, then I think we'll see some significant differences during this next one.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, the last tower challenge was very different,
Oh yeah.
So I'd love to see the event do something similar and kind of
Yeah.
set the bar high again. So,
Mm-hmm.
all right. So let's talk about characters. We haven't even got to that. So we have the obvious. We have Nemo. We have Marlin. And Marlin goes along with the theme of like the parent, that we've seen over the past few ones with the parents always kind of being there. Dory is there, of course. Hank is there, and he is a premium character. And that's in row 1. Row 2 is Crush, Squirt, and Bruce. And Bruce is a premium character as well. So your wish was granted. He is in the game.
Both my characters are premiums. They definitely have my wallet right away.
Yes. Were you holding a wishable when this happened? Where you got your wish?
It wasn't. I was just hoping they.
Okay, so those are the characters. So we'll be looking forward to getting them. I assume that Marlin is going to be the first character, right? It's been parent first for so many times in a row. I feel like they're going to stick to that, and Nemo needs to be found, right?
Sure. Yeah. They could always switch it up. Maybe they start with Nemo first, and Marlin needs to be found.
Maybe Finding Marlin.
Finding Marlin.
Yeah. All right. So another thing that was announced during this was that there is a new attraction being added to the game. It is the Haunted Mansion from Disneyland, California. The current Haunted Mansion, which is in the game, is from the Disney World, Florida, which I've had the pleasure of riding on many times. And it's awesome. But they wanted to put the counterpart in, so the Haunted Mansion from Disneyland, California will be joining the game. Very cool. It looks awesome.
Yep.
It's always cool to have another attraction. How do you think that this is going to be acquired?
Probably a leader. Well, they said it was coming out after the event is over, right?
Did they?
I'm gonna assume it's kind of another battle box situation. I mean, I'd love for it not to be, but
yeah, I don't know. That's a good theory. Like, I just thought they'd throw it as an Elixir attraction. I don't think they've had an Elixir attraction in a while.
Yeah, I mean, they totally could.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We'll have to see.
Yeah.
All right. So there are other things to talk about. So we're going to kind of go a little bit out of order, I would say, for these. But so there are new features to the game, which definitely change the game up a bit. There is something now called Special Request Wishes. Special Request Wishes are separate wishes from the regular wishes, and you can get them by getting thrill enchantments to or your thrill levels to 2, which we'll talk about in just a minute. The Special Request Wishes, when granted, we can give you different things, whether it's blueprint tokens, relic tokens, resource chests, gems, and other rewards. These are in addition to normal wishes. So if I think you can have up to 6 wishers at a time now for happiness. So this doesn't matter. This is a separate wisher that will give you a request. And once completed, they'll spawn every 24 hours. So you want to get them done as fast as possible. I have yet to see mine. I probably should have mine right about now. I haven't checked the game. But they look really cool. Has anyone out there gotten a special request, a special wish done yet? If so, I'd love to hear like what you got and what you did. So let us know in the chat if you have.
Yeah, I'm still waiting on my friend.
Okay. Then we have magic pedestals. Magic pedestals are the little blue. Let's see. Those are the little blue kind of things that were added to the game, and
They look like spaceships.
They look like little spaceships. And these spaceships, I just want to see if we're going to talk about this. So, I just don't want to repeat myself twice. Sorry, unorganized show here. Okay, so first off, you need to have unlocked Zerg to start using these magic pedestals. Magic pedestals produce magic every 12 hours, and the amount of magic they do changes up on your pedestal level. Your pedestal can get leveled up. So let's just go into it. I'm going to jump ahead now. There's a new feature called the Thrill Zone Rewards. Okay, and this write-up is courtesy of Luis Felipe Lerma Alvarez, because 4 names is better than 2. No, he's awesome. Thank you, Luis. He would come up with such amazing content. So I'm going to use this here. So this is how to explain the new feature in the game. Last Friday, Disney Magic Kingdoms announced this feature during their live stream, and here's how it works. Your kingdom has different zones represented by major attractions like California Screamin', Space Mountain, a Small World, and so on. Tapping on these attractions will now show a new Thrill Zone feature. Let's talk about the California Screaming Thrill Zone. This is the only one that's currently going to be a Thrill Zone. They'll be releasing the other ones in other updates. When you tap on this attraction, it will pop the screen that shows the requirements in order to reach a certain level. These requirements mean that you have to place a certain number of decorations, types of concessions, and attractions within your zone. They must be placed in the plots of land surrounding the California Screaming in this example. You don't have to place specific decorations, concessions, or attractions, but they don't have to belong to certain collections. The buildings are up to you. You just have to meet the category shown by the little icon on the building for each requirement. So for concession stands, for example, it will say you have to place 10 food stands, 8 hat stands, 5 drink stands, and 5 souvenir stands. Any requirement you meet will get a check mark. The more requirements that you meet, you'll get closer to reaching the next level for that Thrill Zone. Okay, so there are different Thrill Zone levels. So Thrill Zone Level 1, after meeting your first 5 requirements in any order, you'll reach Level 1 and unlock the Magic Pedestals. A Magic Pedestal sits next to every major attraction in each zone. It's the blue space-looking orb, and it generates a certain amount of magic every hour. The amount of magic will increase along with your Thrill Zone level, and you'll be able to collect it every 12 hours. Allison, do you want to take over and tell us what the rest of the Thrill Zones do?
Sure.
Thrill Zone Level 2.
Yeah, okay. So, when you meet your next 5 requirements, so it's 10 total in any order, you'll reach the level 2 and you'll unlock the special wish. These types of wishes do not replace regular wishes, but they do appear once every 24 hours, as well earlier. Granting a special request wish can get you blueprint tokens, relic tokens, resource chests, gems, and other surprises. You want me to keep going?
Yep, keep going.
Okay, and then when you meet all the requirements from your Thrill Zone, you'll reach level 3 and unlock a 50% magic bonus on all of your attractions and concessions that are placed within your thrill. You can always move your buildings around, but in order to maintain your level, you have to meet the requirements for each level at all times. So whenever you put away a building that meets the thrill zone request, you'll be warned before you decide to actually put it away. Your thrill zone level might go up or down depending on what you choose to put your.
Yeah. So it's very interesting. So this feature came with the new update, and we have the California Scream and Thrill Zone. Other thrill zones are coming in future updates. So as we said, you have to have beaten Zerg to get this. And so here's the thing about this. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it, right? If people are like, this is stressful, I don't want to rearrange my park, don't do it. These are optional things to do for fun. The special wishes are just a way for you to get, the real goal here is to get the special wishes, right? So they're just going to help you get more rewards quicker, right? So it's up to you, like whether you don't care about that or not, right? Yep. A lot of people are saying, well, if I have to like take out attractions and I have to put decorations in, they're going to use up my land space. I'm going to have less stuff. I'm going to collect less magic. But, depending on how much you remove, if you get a 50% magic bonus on everything in your zone, you might be coming out pretty much ahead on magic. So I think it's fun. I think that, we're in a game that is basically meant to be a kingdom builder game, right? So this makes it fun, and makes everyone have to do things differently and think differently and not just go in and do stuff. And I like it. What are your thoughts on this, Allison?
I like it too because now, I think something that people have been asking for is a reason to keep decorations around. What's the reason for keeping my decorations? I just melt them all tomorrow. Well, here's the reason. You're going to want to decorate your park. Now, right now, my park around this area looks absolutely ridiculous because as I'm placing the items that it's, asking for, things are not themed properly, but that's because I may have already melted some stuff or given some things to Merlin. But now when I get like more rose bushes or fountains or whatever, I'll know to put them around where my Princess Fairy Tale Hall is. And I can kind of I can adjust it and make it what I want as I go. Right now it looks really silly. I've got like a star mapper over by like my Princess Fairy Tale Hall. It looks silly, but over time, as we continue to get these decorations in chests, there will be an actual purpose for them. So I kind of like that because, then, we've had so many things. I don't know about you, Stephen, but I like to keep one of everything just to kind of have it. I just like to keep one of everything. So that means that a lot of my one of everythings have just been sitting in storage for a long time. And now this gives me an opportunity to kind of put it out and decorate my park the way that I want. And yes, I know that, we talked before about how, everybody wishes that we had more land. We want more space to put out more attractions. But at the same time, like, at some point, the attractions that you have out become kind of obsolete, especially if they're event specific. And so it is kind of nice to be able to switch up your park once in a while and to give yourself a challenge. Again, it's totally optional. So I feel like getting to zone level 2 was okay for me because I had everything I needed in order to get myself there. I think that zone level 3 is going to be a much bigger challenge because you have to enchant a lot of buildings to level 1. So it's going to take a while for all of us to just collect enough common blueprint tokens, I think, in order to actually to see that. But because I'm pretty sure in that zone I only have five buildings so far. Yeah. Like up to level 1. So, and be aware that leveling up to 2 or 3 doesn't count. It's just level 1, I think, is what there's.
Yep. All great points. And you know, it's interesting. I was just thinking, like, they had happiness in the game, right? And happiness meant nothing to anyone who was playing, right?
Yeah.
You just collected happiness. It was like whatever, blah 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 blah. No big deal. So they made the change to happiness, and while they had to tweak it to get it right,
Yeah.
it's I think it's at a pretty good place now.
I think so
And
too.
when I say it's at a pretty good place, I mean it's at a point where happiness matters. Happiness didn't matter before. They had a whole thing or a whole part of the game that meant nothing. Everyone, for the most part, was stuck at 99% ecstatic. Like it wasn't a big deal. So the changes remade happiness into something that's important. Well, now decorations are important again.
Yeah.
No one cared about decorations. Okay, let me not say that. I apologize. A lot of people like putting out decorations. A lot of people like that. But there's just a lot of people that just want attractions out. They want to put as many attractions as they possibly can out to maximize magic output, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And they only maybe squeeze some decorations in spots where they just can't fit anything else. That included people like me.
Yeah.
So now I have the ability to, do my park in a way where decorations matter. And I want to get the special wishes. I'm not too concerned about the 50% magic right now. I think it will be important moving forward when I have more attractions that are enchanted. But I'll say that I'm very interested in possibly rearranging my park, the whole park, and just to kind of like make things look a little bit more park-like and a little less crowded.
Yeah.
Because the parks just look completely congested. Anyone that puts out a video of like, look at my park, I got all this stuff out. It's like Disney World doesn't look like that. You know what I mean? There's no place to walk. Disney World, it just, I don't know. It's interesting to change the dynamic of the game a little bit. And maybe that's something I'll try. That'll be a good segment for the show.
Oh yeah, definitely. I have a pirate themed corner in my park, or what I think is like a little bit of a pirate theme, and now I have somewhere to put my Captain Hook hat and my Peter Pan hat. Like it looks nice because all of those things go together.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So yeah, I think it'll only enhance the game, really.
Yeah.
And it's optional right now, so I don't know if
it's optional always. It's not just right now. It's always optional. If you don't want to participate in this, you're not missing out on anything.
Right.
Really, honestly, the only thing you're missing out on is the magic pedestal, which gives you a little bit of magic, which is no big deal. You're missing out on the special wishes. That's it.
Yep.
So that's kind of it for the thrill zone level stuff. It's a lot to take in, for sure. So
it's a good challenge, though.
Yeah.
Well, and the nice thing is, just to get it to level 2, you kind of you can choose any, like, what is it, 10 that you want. Any 10 tasks to finish. You know what I mean? So you don't have to put out, like, all the drink stands necessarily.
Yeah.
You could do, if you have gold trophies, you only need 2 of them out. And thankfully, I only had 2. So that's where I put them.
Yeah. All right. So that's pretty much it for that. Let's talk about other stuff that they announced for this new update. There is no new land. People always ask, is there new land? No. But they did drop something that was a big information. In a subsequent update, the Space Mountain Zone will be rearranged, reconfigured, redesigned, whatever you want to call it. And some of the obstacles will be removed and the corners will be squared off a little bit. The reason, so there's just a lot of stuff. When you look in, the certain in between the plots of land in Space Mountain, there's like those obstacles in the way. You just can't put stuff in there. it's hard to fit things like that bottom right corner. You can barely fit like 2 attractions in there.
Yeah.
And then you have stuff in between all of them. I mean, it's hard, really hard. And the plots of land are small. They are very, very...
back.
Yeah, they're very small plots of land. So they're doing this. Now, do you know why they're doing this? They're doing this. They didn't announce it, but they're doing this because it's probably going to be the next zone that has thrill rides or, the thrill stuff. And there's not enough room to put 5 attractions and 20 decorations and all those stands and everything. So they needed to do this so that trying to meet the requirements wouldn't be so terrible, if not achievable at all. So I think an overhaul is awesome. I think that while it's not new land, it definitely gives you more space to work on stuff.
Yeah.
So all right.
Yeah.
All right. What else did they mention? They said there is no character balancing. So there are still more sets that are going to be balanced, but no character balancing in this update. But there will be some building enchantment balancing. What they're doing is they're taking the Mickey and Friends level 1 and level 2 enchantments, and they're actually increased them by about 5 each. But level 3 and 4 they decreased by I think about 10 each. So it's an overall reduction in the number of relics you would need to get the enchantment all the way to the end. But I think that because of the thrill zones, they kind of wanted to make it harder to get to level 1 and especially to level 1 is my opinion. And then for Toy Story, they are decreasing all the relic requirements to make it a little bit easier. So what are your thoughts on all this stuff with the balancing and the land? Well, we already talked about the land, but the balancing.
Yeah, I think that, right away they kind of understand that new additions to the game and changes to the game will need to be tweaked right away. And so I do appreciate that they're kind of looking at, how these things are received by the community and taking that into consideration and deciding, okay, maybe we make this more of a challenge, but we decrease the challenge over here. I like that. It makes it seem like, they're paying attention to our feedback. So yeah, because this is just right. This just happened. So to have a change already, a balancing change already, means that they're open to changing, things if it's not been well received. That's how I kind of took this.
All right, great. One other thing, some other things. So they announced this before, but the bank, which is the screen where you can see the bronze, silver, gold, and platinum chests, will be removed soon, but not in this update. So they're going to get rid of that screen, and so you'll no longer be able to see that old content. But the nice thing is that everyone who bought those pedestals will get their gems and magic refunded to them. So honestly, since there's no more chests that you need to put on there, go ahead and remove it and give me my gems. All right. So finally, in case you were wondering why you just started collecting so many common tokens, including Wall-E common tokens, Pirate Flag common tokens, Aurora Spinning Wheel common tokens, the following attractions are now available for enchanting. Prince Charming's Regal Carousel, Astro Orbiters, Space Traders, Princess Fairy Tale Hall, Fantasy Fair, Tortuga Tavern, the Sea Serpent Swing, the Kraken, Pirates of the Caribbean, and Davy Jones' Organ. So all that stuff is now enchantable. So go ahead and take a look. What I'm hoping for is that good old Daniel Gizar, friend of the show and kingdom building extraordinaire. I'm hoping that some people in his group and some people in our group can get together and work on a spreadsheet for what these what the enchantments do, because I don't want to pull a trigger on anything until I kind of know where is that path going to lead.
Yeah, I agree. I'm looking forward to that too.
Yeah, I searched the group earlier. I couldn't find anything, so let's all work together as a community and try to, get something up so that we can have a better idea of what we can do.
Yeah.
Because I'd love to start enchanting some of the new stuff, but if it's not going to do anything for me, then
I'm hoping one of these pirate ones gives. That'll be good.
you actually you cut out there, Allison. What were you saying?
Oh, I was saying I hope one of these pirates, either like Sea Serpent Swing, Pirates of the Caribbean, Davy Jones Organ, Tortuga Tavern. I hope one of them drops some more of Tia Dalma's token.
Yeah, for sure.
I would like that.
Okay. So, Joe says some people in Discord are starting that. Awesome.
Cool.
I'd love to get that content up. So that is it. We have talked a lot about the new update and all the content coming out. There's a ton of stuff there. I know it's a lot to go over in a podcast. My voice is almost hoarse talking about it. If you want more information, check out our Facebook group at facebook.com/ATK podcast. And, just find us on Twitter, Discord, wherever you want to find us. And all that information will be posted there. There's lots of discussion going on about what they do. So please join us there. All right. Moving on into the event of the week.
Yes.
All right. Battle viruses. They ended on Friday.
Yes.
The virus was over and live stream could begin. So how did you do, Allison?
I got the I don't even remember.
The money bin.
The money bin. I got the money bin. I did. I magically pulled it out. I ended up being 70th on my board, and I'll tell you what, the people on my board gave me a run for my money because I was super busy packing to get ready for my trip and then being on my trip. And I had to check in regularly or else I was going to drop right out of that 100 spot. So my board was super competitive. It sounded like a lot of boards were super competitive. So good job. Pat on the back to everybody who managed to pull it out because that was a tough one.
Yeah, no, my board was super competitive and really, really hard to stay on top. I did get the money bin. It was hard, but I was able to do it. It did require me waking up a little bit in the middle of the night. I was actually unhappy about that, but I had to do what I had to do. So, I would roll over, I would collect my stuff, I'd go back to bed. But all right. So, what did you think about battle viruses?
I liked it. Other than the fact that tough, I liked it for as much as you can like a battle type of event. I loved that they made the token rarity common and uncommon. I felt like that was much more fair. There was a ton of people who could collect for it, also much more fair. I thought it was good. It was very competitive. I don't know. What did you think? What were your thoughts?
For a battle event, it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Like you said, the tokens were common and uncommon, which made it not feel bad. Like, it made it feel okay. You were able to collect.
Yeah.
So it was just a matter of how fast you could collect, how many collectors you had, and just how regularly you could check in. I mean, that's just how it goes. But I mean, at least it didn't feel bad like the original battle bots where just nothing was dropping. So I don't know. It was all right. Yeah. Battle events are not my favorite, but it is what it is. All right. No new events since then. What I can say is as usual, you can expect mini events to begin shortly after the event begins. I would say probably even as early as Friday, we could start seeing mini events occur with rewards of like radiant chests, magical chests, things like that. Usually the gold trophies aren't they're more toward the middle of the event. But we'll talk about those as we come. All right. Let's move on into the Disney Dad Joke of the Week.
Yay!
All right, I know one joke. There's a mollusk sea, and he walks up to a sea. Well, he doesn't walk up. He swims up. Well, actually, the mollusk isn't moving. He's in one place, and then the cucumber. Well, I mixed it up. There was a mollusk and a sea cucumber. None of them were walking, so forget that. There was this mollusk, and he walks up to the sea cucumber. Normally, they don't talk, sea cucumbers, but in a joke, everybody talks. So just then, the sea cucumber looks over to the mollusk and says, "With fronds like these, who needs an enemies?"
The original Disney dad joke of Marlin. Yay.
There you go. The little Nemo theme. All right, so let's see how bad everyone thinks that joke was.
They loved it. Don't even look at the comments.
All right. All right. Here's our next segment. Is it worth it? The answer is, we'll tell you next week. Is it worth it? It's going to be put on hold for this week because we have a new segment that we're going to start this week, and I'm super excited about it. It is called Safe to Store. Safe to Store? Yes. Safe to Store is a new segment that was brought up by a member of the community, Kate Brannon. So thank you, Kate, for the idea. I love it. I'm glad we were able to implement it. This is the perfect time to get this going. With needing more space for thrill zones, the idea behind this is, what are some of the attractions that are safe to store? So, there are people that just want every single type attraction out there. They don't care what it is, what it does. They just want to have every attraction out there. And people say, I don't have enough land for my attractions. I don't have enough land for my attractions. But let's think about it. What attractions do you have that you really need all this land for? There have to be some attractions that are safe to store. So if you're going to be putting away attractions, that's what this segment is about. And of course, I would love to hear your guys' feedback of what you think are safe to store stuff. Please send it in via email, send it on Twitter, Facebook. Let me know there so I can use it for a segment. Because this is important, right? Right now we're in a place where this is important. So my first bit of advice is, if you're a more advanced player, I know you're not going to want to hear this, but I suggest putting in away an entire storyline that you're not actively using, and that you have all the characters maxed out for, and that you're not actively collecting from those attractions. I'm personally going to work on maxing out my Big Hero 6 characters now to get those attractions gone from my kingdom. Because here's what it is, right? I have a whole segment of land for the 4 Big Hero 6 attractions. And the only people that go there are Big Hero 6 characters. And so I'm technically still collecting from them. But when I have all my Big Hero 6 characters at 10, then I can just put my Big Hero 6 characters away, send them home, and remove all of those attractions. And I'm not missing out on anything, because the characters are home. So yes, the characters aren't collecting as much as they could, but maybe having a couple characters home isn't so bad for making your gameplay a little bit smoother. Mm-hmm. And additionally, it's now going to free up a whole plot of land that you can use to put out decorations. Like when you're spreading things out, you can have more decorations, more concession stands, more of different things out there. If you just put a whole storyline away, like putting one piece of a storyline here, or one attraction here, and one thing here, and one thing here, it kind of makes things feel incomplete. So if you just put all your characters away from a story and all the attractions away from a story, you have a whole bunch of land. And if you're like, I don't want to do that, I don't want my Big Hero 6 characters just gone from the game, it gives you the opportunity to rotate, and say, 1 week if you want, or I wouldn't do it every week, but however often you want, you could say, you know what, I want to put Big Hero 6 back, but I also have Frozen maxed out. So let's send home Arendelle, which has a giant attractions. Let's send all those home, and and we could switch it up. And so I think that is my first bit of advice for a more advanced player, to get rid of an entire storyline. We have to be realistic here, right? We are not going to be able to fit everything in our kingdom. It's just not happening. We can't fit everything in there now. Even Daniel Gizar and Michael Nguyen cannot fit everything in their kingdoms, and they are the kingdom building experts. This is a kingdom building game. It's meant to be ever evolving, and for you to be able to make changes, and for everyone's park to look different. Maybe we'll have a show, maybe like an idea is we'll have a show off your park kind of thread in our group. But I think it's a good thing that they're doing this to make people kind of have to make their parks a little bit more custom and a little less cluttered with attractions. Mm-hmm. That being said, okay, that was my initial welcome to the segment thing. My vote this week is for the Hollywood Tower of Terror. It is big. It only drops pumpkin common tokens. So there's nothing else that this does. It's not enchantable. It only drops pumpkin common tokens. It doesn't even drop gold trophies. So there is no need to keep the Hollywood Tower of Terror out in your kingdom if you need to make some space. In my opinion, this can be safely stored. Allison, I asked you to give something for what could be safely stored. What did you come up with?
So, the one that I came up with was Splash Mountain. And the reason why is because it only appears to collect for one character, and that is Scar and his ear hats, which are really tough to come by. So if you're still leveling up Scar, it may not be a good decision for you. I, however, don't even have Scar. He's the one Lion King character I do not have. And so for me, it's a complete waste of space, unfortunately. Now, I will also say, depending on how DMK decides to do gold trophies in the future, it has been a gold trophy collector. So for those types of events, you may want to get it back out into your park. But as of right now, it's also not enchantable. So it's pretty big. It's 12 by 12. So that was my pick.
Yeah, I think that's a great pick. That's definitely can be safely stored. And for the people just listening, what was that again? What was your attraction again for the people?
Oh, sorry. Splash Mountain.
Splash Mountain. Okay, so Splash Mountain and the Hollywood Tower of Terror, easy ones to put away. Joseph in chat, dressing room, easily stored. Yes, so we'll take one from the chat here. Yeah. The princess dressing room, you can definitely safely store because it's only used for the princesses and their comfy costumes, and you do not collect anything from it. It does not drop tokens, and it is gigantic. So that is another safe to store.
And that likely won't be dropping any tokens for the Finding Nemo event since there's no princesses and no likely. So.
All right. So again, if you have any ideas or suggestions, make sure you let us know. I think that it's important so that you can safely store things away. If you want to maximize magic, Darlene in the chat saying, I want to maximize magic. Let me tell you something. If you put out concession stands in the same amount of area as you would for an attraction, you will make more magic from the concession stands than you would from an attraction. Hands down. I've done it a million times. Depending on how you play. If you play 2 hours, you play 4 hours, you will make more magic if you put a little concession farm in the area of where you had an attraction, for the most part. So you remove something big like the Kraken, right? Get the Kraken out of there and put in a bunch of concessions. So if you have, a Kraken in the Thrill Zone or Omnidroid City in a Thrill Zone, you're way better removing those and putting down concessions and getting all that magic. You're gonna make a lot more magic from concessions. And the concessions work towards getting your Thrill Zone to the next level. And then if you get it to the final level, then you're getting 50% more magic production from those concessions. So having all your attractions out, and I'm talking to you, Darlene, isn't necessarily the best idea
Right.
to do it. And she said, I did a list of how many 24 hours that attractions give, and I try to put them in first. So if you're looking for 24-hour collections, those are the lowest amount of magic that you'll collect. The least amount of time is the most amount you're going to collect. So,
right.
Little sidebar.
Daniel says, if you thought Splash Mountain is big, Omnidroid is. It totally is, but I still need it out in my park right now. So I gotta level those characters quickly and get it out of there.
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. And Daniel also said he put Frozen away. The whole Frozen area is gone for Daniel. So, even the people who know where everything goes have removed storylines. So I actually just maxed out Frozen, so I might put them away now.
Yeah.
I have that.
Castle or that ice rink is really big.
Yeah, the ice rink's huge. So I have the Lion King and I have Frozen maxed. So I probably will put both of those stories away for now.
Yeah.
And just try to make some more room.
Yeah.
But all right, cool. Okay. So anyway, let's keep going here. Ready, Allison?
Yep.
Feature report. Feature report. We have to work on that, so that we get a little bit more in sync.
There's a lag.
Yeah. All right. Feature report is a segment where we talk about ideas of features we'd like to see implemented into the game. From Gavin, how about a park layout editor that allows us to toggle between park designs? So what Gavin's trying to get at here, okay, is that you could save a layout and be able to change it based on the situation, like wanting thrill ride levels higher or something for an event. I think that this is so important, right? So you could design your park and have it the way you want it with the most amount of attractions out or concessions or whatever, or just the one for, let's just say one that looks the best to you. And you could save it as park looks the best, right? And then you could rearrange your park so that the thrill level is the highest that it could possibly be. And then you could save that as thrill level. Or you could do magic production, right? Where you could just have all, everything that would possibly produce the most amount of magic at once. And you could save that as magic production. So that you could switch between. So like if you want hey, I want to do magic production right now. You could have the park that you designed, you could put it out there and just hit a button and boom, all the concessions, the Kingdom editor pulls everything up and puts everything down where you put it, right? And then you're like, oh, I don't want magic anymore. I want to be able to get my special wishes. So you just hit a button and it just puts everything back down. I can't tell you now that thrill zones are in the game. I mean, even before that, I'd love the idea. But now the thrill zones in the game, I love this. Allison, what do you think?
I also love this. I think it would be very cool to be able to save different designs that you do. There have been times where I have clicked on the button and stored all of my stuff for a particular, to rearrange a particular zone, and then I'm like, oh man, how did I used to have this? I wanted to put things back, and I had to take a bunch of screenshots for every zone so that I remembered how I wanted to put things back.
Yes.
I love that. I wish that we could get a top side view of the park with a grid layout so that we can arrange our buildings and concessions and decorations in a grid from the top, and then once you put them all there, then you can click a button and then it would be back to the normal view. I just feel like you'd be able to see the corners just a little bit easier. You know what I mean?
No, no, absolutely. But this is great.
I love this idea. I think it's great.
Yeah, I mean, you spend so much time like that's the thing for me, right? Like if I'm gonna blow my whole kingdom up and take everything back and spend hours, I mean, it takes hours, 3-4 hours easy to completely redo a park.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to change it all up again. That's why you want people to the game is like you want people to edit in your parks and to do all this different things with your parks, but I don't want to spend the 4 hours.
Yeah.
That and during those 4 hours, you're getting no magic production. Your characters aren't going out on quests. Like all these things that you're not collecting tokens. So
You've always got one ride that's waiting somebody to get that.
yeah, but it's just doing this would encourage more kingdom building, which I think is a discouragement right now because of how long it takes. Even with the new improvements of being able to pull everything up at once, which saves a ton of time because it used to take a long time. But I think that having a layout that you could save would be game changing in a good way.
Yeah, I think so too. I like it.
Gavin, awesome feature report. All right. And then another one from Luis Felipe Lerma Alvarez. All right. He says, I think it would be much easier to meet our thrill zone requirements if we had filters for the different categories of concessions and decorations within the building editor. Right now, when you're redesigning your park, you can see the requirements you're missing, but it'll be much easier to find specific types of building through a category filter, like show me souvenir stands or greenery decorations or scenery decorations. I know the little icons for each category help, but you still have to go through your entire inventory, so a little filter applied within the building editor would help a lot. Couldn't agree more. I love filters. I think that filters should totally be part of this game. But yeah, I mean, I had that problem yesterday when I was trying to rearrange stuff. Like I had to keep going back and looking, and then I'd be like, okay, I got to do 3 of these now, and then I'd go back to concessions and I'd be scrolling through, and I really like that. I think that would be a really, really good addition to the game. Anything you want to add, Allison?
Yeah, I like this as well because I was having the same problem trying to find my drink stand in the midst of like all of the decorations and or in the midst of all of the other food concessions. So I agree. I think that would help quite a bit. I think also with these thrill zones, I still want to be able to see how many of each item that I need once I've completed it. Like I want it to tell me 5 out of 5 completed instead of just completed, because if I want to rearrange things after, like I said, right now my park looks like a mess because I just needed to put in things that were going to meet those requirements, but I might have too many rides. I might have too many food concessions. And I know that as you keep taking them out, you'll eventually get the error message, or not error, I guess it's a warning message that lets you know, hey, don't take this out or else you'll lose your status at whatever thrill zone level you're at. But I still wish that you could see that number officially, just so you could keep an eye on it, and be able to move things around easier.
Yeah. Cool.
But, yep, great suggestion by both of these guys.
All right. So let's go around the community. All right. So what I wanted to talk about was Tom Wright. We talked last week about Tom Wright, who is the official concept designer for Around the Kingdom. He came up with a Finding Nemo, Finding Dory event idea, and we talked about it on the show. So let's see how right he was. So he said 9 new characters. So we didn't get 9. We got 7, which is pretty typical. So he said Nemo, check. Dory, check. Marlin, check. Crush, check. Squirt, check. He said Gil, not part of it. Bruce, check. Hank, check. And Destiny, not part of it.
Yep.
He did say Bruce would be premium, so he got that right.
Spot on, yeah.
And he said that Squirt would be premium, but that was not it. Hank was the other premium character. But really, good calls there.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
5 new attractions. Again, this is a little. No events have ever had 5 new attractions, but so the reef. Shark Slayer, the submarine. So there you go. He got that one right. The P. Sherman fish tank would be funny. Not one. Crush Coaster. Yes. Got that one right. He said that's and he had that listed as premium. So we'll find out. And then he had the Marine Life Institute, which was not part of it.
I feel like the reef is probably similar to the Around the Seas with Nemo and Friends, right?
Yeah, I think though the reef was actually meant to be a water-based attraction, from my understanding.
That's right. You're right.
So, all right. So the new concessions: bubble tea stand, Nemo balloons, and Dory hat stand. There are no. I mean, yeah, none of these. So we have a Nemo and a Dory wishable. So I like your ideas better, Tom.
I do too.
He has 4 new decorations. A sponge sea deco, bubble blower, just keep swimming sign, and a golden goggle statue. So amazingly, only 1 new decoration, and the statue is not of the golden goggles, which I think would have been awesome, but it is of Crush. And then new parade float, designed based on Mr. Ray and the sea creatures and the mine seagulls. Well, the mine seagulls are in the game, but the design is it's kind of sea creatures, but instead of Mr. Ray, it is Crush once again. So Crush is in a lot of this.
Yeah, he is.
So, but cool. Tom, that's pretty good. I think you hit it out of the park here, and as always, great stuff.
We might honestly see some more of this in a future Tower Challenge. Really.
Very true. All right, so that about wraps it up for this episode. This was a long show today. So thanks everyone for sticking around. We had a lot to talk about. We did get 1 new 5-star rating and 1 new 5-star review. And it is from Jim Meek, 55. And he said, excellent source of information. He says, I have learned a lot from listening to the show. I am in a minority, I am sure, because A, I am not on Facebook, and B, I'm playing the game without making any in-app purchases. Believe me, it's tempting at times, but at this point, I'm content with just seeing what I can earn at my own pace. Keep up the great show. Oh, well, awesome. Thank you so much for the review. And yeah, there is no need to spend money. All of the stuff is obtainable. Save your gems, for premium content, follow all the newcomer tips of the week that we do. Don't spend your gems speeding stuff up, and but you can definitely get everything in events without buying anything. All right, shout outs. Allison, what do you got?
Just a huge shout out to Teal and all of the content that they put in this week, and especially Teal doing these these best guess scenarios for who might be helping with the event and on what tasks to kind of give us a leg up on each event. I appreciate that so much. So yeah, huge shout outs to those two, because that's some premium grade content right there.
Cool. I got 2 shout outs too. One is also to Teal. Actually, I have 3 shout outs. One is to Teal for the awesome heads up content, and she'll put them out before each chapter. So make sure you keep an eye on it. Another shout out goes to Luis Felipe Lerma Alvarez for awesome content. He's been putting out some awesome content in the groups. Really great descriptions, walkthrough guide kind of stuff for how things work. So great content there. And then a big shout out to the moderators team for Around the Kingdom for coming up with the idea for the contest, and Allison for writing the rules. We're super excited about this contest. And make sure you get out your pencils, your crayons, your mouse, whatever you use to color. Microsoft Paint is awesome. So go ahead and do something there, and we will have a winner and get yourself a bundle.
It'll be lots of fun. I know we've got some artists that enjoy this creative contest.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. Next week's show, I don't know. I've been booking guests has been a little strange lately. I have some ideas in mind, so we'll just have a mystery. Maybe it will be Nemo or Dory. We'll see. I bet Disney Girl could do a really good Dory and Nemo. I got to get back in touch with her and see if she'll come on the show again. All right. If you want to be more involved with the show, you can follow us on Twitter at ATK Podcast and like our Facebook page at facebook.com/ATK Podcast. Here you'll find out before anyone else about any breaking news that we hear, information on contests and giveaways, when new shows are published, and of course my ramblings and photos for my day-to-day playing. The show's Facebook group is up, and it's a great way to easily interact with me and the other fans of the show to talk about our favorite game. The link to our group will be in the show notes and can also be found on the show's main Facebook page. Also, you can write into the show. Our email address is aroundthekingdompodcast@gmail.com. So if you don't do social media, you still have email. Let us know what you think about the show, what's working, what's terrible, or any other topic you want to write in about. Or even if you just want to say hi. We're now on YouTube. If you want to watch the show and see me and my awesome guests, please head on over and subscribe to our channel, like the video, and smash the bell to get notified when a new show goes live. The link to our channel will be in the show notes. And also, don't forget to join our Discord channel to chat with us. If you want to help support the show, head on over to iTunes, subscribe to the podcast, and leave us a 5-star review. Doing this is quick and easy, costs you nothing, but helps us greatly to be seen by other people so they can enjoy the show also. All 5-star reviews will be read at the end of each episode. And hey, if you're on some sort of Android listening podcast thing or using a different podcast thing, rate us there. Even rating us elsewhere would also be a big help to the show. But listening to the show is all we could really ask for. But if you do want to help support us in another way, please check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/aroundthekingdom. We do have a goal of getting 2 more Patreons for our show in the month of August, so you can be the person that helps get us there. It's a great way to show your support for about $1 an episode. All Patreons will get a special shout out at the beginning of each episode. Again, it's patreon.com/aroundthekingdom. The link will be in the show notes. All right, well, thanks again for joining us this week. I am Steve Squirrel. For myself and Allison, we hope you have a great night. We hope you have an awesome event, and we will see you around the kingdom next week.
Bye, everybody. Good luck with the event.